For the record, my name is Tom Richmond, and I represent Senate District 28. Today, I understand executive action is planned for Senate Bill 278. And as you recall, that is the bill that would have established a structure to purchase some additional coal baseload generation at Colstrip Unit 4 from the regulated utility. As you might guess, and I'm sure that all of you have also heard from your constituents, and I've heard from you, and I have heard from my constituents, I've heard from the Public Service Commission, and from almost anybody else that you might think of. Past the personal attacks, I think that there's some good criticism of the bill, and every one of us that introduces a bill here knows that you know, when it first hits the table, it may not be perfect, and it might require some work. So this bill, frankly, was a little bit more open-ended than it needed to be. It needed to be tightened up. I didn't want to leave people with the impression that it was my intention to raise anybody's rates. It was my intention to lower people's electricity rates and to provide for reliable power. So today I'm going to ask you to table Senate Bill 278. I have introduced a new bill. It doesn't have a bill number yet. It will be my LC 811, and it will tighten up this concept. It keeps the concept of a bargain. It keeps the concept that there are regulated utilities outside of Montana who would like to leave coal-fired generation behind, and it does allow for the regulated utility to purchase additional generation capacity. But it does put sideboards on it. It puts a cap on the amount of costs that can be returned to the ratepayers. It puts a specific period of time over which that cost recovery has to happen, and any additional cost recovery must be approved by the Public Service Commission. So the Public Service Commission will retain its authority over setting rates. It also clarifies, I think, regulatory authority in the new bill, certainly much more specifically than in the old bill. So I don't want to drag this out, Mr. Chairman. I'm hoping to save you a little time, obviously, but I just want to make a comment that I do appreciate the constructive criticism. And as I look around the table, I've talked to every single one of you, I think, about this bill. And I really do appreciate that. I don't appreciate what has turned out to be the editorial writing game in the state, where nobody contacts the sponsor about the bill, but they are experts in the bill and they choose to write an editorial and without ever finding out what the motives were. No bill is perfect when it's introduced. This was less than perfect, obviously. It's easier to start over than it is to try and fix the existing bill. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I hope one of your members will make a motion to table Senate Bill 278. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Richmond.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move a do not pass on Senate Bill 278.
I think you want to move a do pass and then move it to table.
Do not pass does the same thing.
Okay.
I did it right. Dwayne.
Substitute motion to table, 278.
It's a non-debatable motion. Those in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Motion's been carried.